StreamYard that was having the problem. So I'm wondering if somehow StreamYard wasn't getting overloaded by stuff.
Well, that's possible. Okay, so I am just going to go into the other studio and just leave that there, and I will pin a comment so that they know. Okay. I don't know what the hell is happening.
It's time for bourbon.
Oh, Jesus.
Lots of bourbon.
Oh, my God. And this is the first day my kids are all back in school. It feels so good that I'm alone in this house for the first time in months. I used to make fun of parents who were like, I can't wait for the kids to go back in school. And that was before I had 3 of my own. And now I have 4. I have 4 kids now.
Yay. That's right. Oh, it's her first day of school, isn't it?
It was yesterday. The girls had their first day yesterday. Hangry has his first day today.
Did she come home and go, oh my God, why aren't they giving us homework? Where's my homework? I don't have
Oh my God, no, she's in absolute heaven. She's in absolute heaven. She's like, it's going to be great here. It's so great here. It's like a vacation.
She's not going to want to go back.
That's what she told me. She said, I'm not going to want to go back.
Well, here we go. For all of those that were watching on the replay crew, and I said, never mind about the 15 minutes of bullshit.
Well, today it's 34 minutes of bullshit, apparently.
It's 34 for the people here and 22 for the replay crew. But like I'll edit out the first 30 minutes of it. It's going to lose the chat. So chat, be funny now, because nobody's going to be able to rewatch the chat after I edit out the first however goddamn long it takes to edit this shit out. All right. Should we make another attempt at this, Megan? I think we're
we
good.
Should.
All right.
Let's just start. I gave them the recap. Everyone knows what's happening.
All right. Well, let's read through these. Project Metal Music, who's been a member for 15 months, is keep the Judge Grudge videos coming. Well, we're streaming now, so let's hope we can keep it coming. And Jill Ams with the $10. How do you make it last 15 minutes? Hey, I made it last 35 minutes. I made it last 35 minutes. And for Megan Fox, the $5.
Oh, I can't see it. I'm on the wrong screen. Okay. It's all good. Kept humming Simon and Garfunkel's Sound of Silence. Best time ever.
And also for Megan Fox.
Hi, Megan and Jeff. Little money help for the internet. Thank you all for both providing to us. Get easy for you to say. Thank you.
Begun the super chat wars have. All right, so now I do need to bring up the video screen here, which has been opened, closed, and added about 6 times so far. So why not make it an even 7? We are at the 1 hour mark of part 6 of the video. So now that we have that up, I'm going to boop on over to the 1 hour mark, then we'll bring it on up. 58, 59. That's good enough. And I'll add it up here. Please stand by. Sharing screen. All right. We have been added. I hope. I haven't seen the screen yet. Yes. Okay. There we go. It was being blocked by the other screen. So people, I don't think we really need to talk about anything else. The bingo cards are locked and loaded. I'm regenerating my own bingo card. Make sure you take the like and subscribe poll, because as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by this thing shutting down my little like and subscribe poll. We were at 80,492. Today's poll is just a simple little question. Will I get to 81,000 subs today? We need 508 or something like that. No, you'll lose subs. I probably will now. I jinxed myself for that stupid 35 minutes. What the fuck?
DK Lucas won. My stream fell down.
They poked its eye out with a nail.
Oh my God, I have 3 StreamYards open. I've got to close all these StreamYards. Oh,
well, that might be part of the problem. I don't know. Just anyway. So either no, you will lose subs, which probably is going to happen. No, but you will get to 80,500, which means I get like 8. No, but you'll get a bunch. Or yes, we will make it happen. We will get you the 500 subs you need. That was wishful fucking thinking. All right. That's just the like and subscribe ball. And that's just only to remind you, there's no reason why you should like my stream today, but at least like Megan's stream. Let's go over to Megan and make sure you like her stream. I certainly haven't I certainly haven't earned anyone's like today. Yeah.
I want to share T Skillet's sentiments from Rumble. It says, let's get this motherfucking teeth in the back of the neck show going.
Right, exactly. I concur. Damn it. Okay, people, that's all I got. If do subscribe to Megan. If you are subscribed to Megan, make sure you still are. Like her stream, and if you're feeling particularly charitable and want to give me a sympathy like and subscribe, please do. I think we got our shit worked out here. And let's begin. I don't even know what the hell was going on at this point, but I'm sure it was just Thomas's belittling Shockett and ranting about something. I'm pretty sure that's where we left off. Megan, what do you think?
I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, okay. That makes sense to me. That sounds right.
Here we go.
All of them know, but
is there another side of the privacy fence that Mr. Griffith uses, sir?
Yes, like I explained, it's open on the ends, and some of the statements he made were in those areas. And I don't really get the reason that you think that it's so
the Sabbath is approaching.
Whether or not I saw it on my security camera while he was saying it to me, or whether he was standing right in front of me, he was still threatening me.
Let's see.
Oh, okay. That's what the argument was, where he said that he heard it on, he heard his neighbor say it, and then Griffith's lawyer's like, he didn't hear it. It was on the video camera. He watched video camera footage, and he's like, hey, I don't care whether I heard it directly from him or heard it on the video camera. The mother effer was still making threats at me.
Right.
So, yeah, we've got that little issue here. Oh, and by the way, I've been proactive, and we are over here. There we go.
Ooh.
we've swatched. We have swapped places with Shockett and Gosney, and there wasn't enough bourbon in there, so I had to add more.
There isn't enough bourbon in my house for this stream today.
I know, but see, I was the people at the liquor store across the street from my office know me very, very well. They gave me a freebie yesterday.
Nice. Free
a
liquor
highball
is always
glass.
good.
No, it wasn't free liquor. It was a highball glass, which
like
apparently this is a highball glass.
Holy crap!
It's a 1 liter highball.
It's a
glass.
mug.
It's 1 liter, so it's like they know me.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm drinking tea today because I think we discussed it earlier. I don't think Mr. Fox needs to come home at 4:30 or 5 o'clock and find me passed out, having done no laundry or vacuuming, which I need to do.
All right, let's go. Heavy sigh. Who sighed?
It wasn't me. I don't know.
So going back to that
Oh, he's undergo cross-examination now.
July 8th, 2019 incident when you have testified that he shot the pellet rifle at your house. If you were concerned about your health and safety and that of your wife, why didn't you tell law enforcement on that day that he shot at you or your house or your wife?
Well, that's the old saying, isn't it? When seconds matter, law enforcement is minutes away.
Yep.
I did tell them that he shot at us at the house with the wife.
Okay.
Whispering. Look, they're whispering. Jerk off is whispering. Why is she whispering now when she just talks over everyone normally?
Sir, isn't it true that you started and commenced the civil action to find a violation to report Mr. Griffith?
No.
Do you recant the testimony that was played to the judge earlier about your desire to have him arrested and thrown in prison and then rearrested and thrown in prison longer?
No. For his violations of the restraining
No, I do
order,
not.
which include threatening. That's why I wanted to stop doing that. That's what law enforcement's for, is to stop animals like your client from threatening other people.
I like he called him an animal. That was good.
And no, I'm
Animals
not
like
changing it. Yeah, I want him in prison. He should be in prison. He has no comeback for that, I see.
Not even an objection.
Nothing. No, he's sorry he asked that one.
He didn't even object to the language being used. He's like, no, you're probably right.
Well, he is kind of.
All right, I don't have any other questions.
That just shut
Really?
him right down.
Thank you, Judge. Just a couple questions, Mr. Gosney. When I believe the testimony that you was played for the judge mentioned about a probation violation that you wanted to see him be prosecuted for. When you said that, which case were you referring to? The criminal case with Judge Davis, or this case?
That was the criminal case with Judge Davis.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of these violations happened while he was on
Your violation.
probation for his criminal case.
Okay, thank you. And I want to ask again, you just testified about punishment of that 34-year-old, I guess, I don't want to say anything either, grand jury, whatever you want to call it.
It was a
charge.
true bill. It was a true bill.
Yes.
Is the phrase they use.
Okay, what was the phrase, Judge?
A true bill, like an indictment.
True bill.
Nobody cares,
Yeah.
Judge.
Sounds very common law.
I forgot to put my eyebrows on.
So you testified that
Does
it was
anybody have eyebrows on
You
their
had
bingo
30
card?
expunged.
minutes, Megan.
That is correct, yes. It was expunged by the city and the police department.
Okay, how do you know that?
Now people that are watching the edit wonder, what's he screaming
Because
about?
at the advice of my attorney in Georgia, I went up there after, probably in 2010, I think, 2010.
That'd be 20 years afterwards.
20 years afterwards, I
Okay.
went up and I put the paperwork in and they expunged it. So it doesn't show up on any background checks that I do. I can't even
There,
really imagine
that's
how
better.
Mr. Griffiths did that. At the time, I was advised by my attorney in Georgia, since it had been dead docketed, A, and B, that it had been expunged, that I did not.
Okay, yeah, they are. For those of you that didn't see the previous part, they tried to impeach him during his cross-examination by saying during his deposition, he testified that he had never been charged with a crime. And now to impeach him, they brought up this fact that he was charged with something but never convicted of something 34 years ago. To show that he's a lying scumbag and doesn't deserve to have the restraining order, whatever, the protective order remain in place. So yeah, they're trying to impeach you. Aha, you lied because you were charged with something 34 years ago. And he's like, hey, I didn't think it was a thing.
Because it was either expunged or dead docketed, whatever that means.
Yeah, I think it's they just don't prosecute it. They put it on there and then they just don't go anywhere with it, I think.
So then would it even be a conviction?
No, he was never convicted of it.
So then he answered the
charged.
question.
The question was, have you ever been charged or convicted?
Oh, well,
He was
that's
yeah, I know. I know.
that's not fair. I think I would probably have answered it the same way.
Yeah.
I've never been arrested. I'm not suggesting I want to be arrested, but I've never been. It's never happened. It's an experience I haven't had.
I've never been arrested. I've come very, very close once.
I came close once. I was
Very
7.
close.
I was 7 months pregnant when I came close. I had library people harassing me with police, and the police were trying to intimidate me. It was very strange.
Oh, they had me dead to rights, and they were intimidating me. I was literally in the room with this tiny room with the wooden desk and the bare light bulb with
Oh
good
boy.
cop questioning me, and I had to answer questions very, very carefully. So when it came time to apply for the my bar license, when you have to do it like a character and fitness review, I was like, I got a speeding ticket when I was 16, and I mentioned that. I'm like, and so they just need to know so they don't. So 34 years later, did Thomas is call me out on it. And so oh yeah, you lied on your license, yoink. All right, so here we go. Megan's got her eyebrows on.
I've got my eyebrows on. Yes.
Let's
Those
hear
of us
more
who are
about this.
with blonde eyebrows really look weird without eyebrows on. It's strange. But
Yeah.
it's better, right? It's not, and no chat. It doesn't count as hair talk. Eyebrows are not hair. I mean, they are, but
And Jill Ams with the $5 Aussie bucks. Jeff's new merch shirt. I made it last 35. Yes, I did. Oh, here we go.
Not need to reveal that because that charge no longer existed.
Okay,
So
thank you.
when he
Nothing,
came up with it here in court, I do remember it, but that's what I was told.
thank you. Nothing further.
No
Any
more?
follow-up?
No?
Okay. Any additional witnesses or other evidence, Mr. Shockett, on your client's behalf?
Yeah, I want to call the white, but if we could ask for a quick break, Judge.
All right, we are at 6:18. Let's give everybody a little break, reconvene by 6:30.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to just put you guys in the waiting
6:30.
room.
I don't
So
remember
that's
what
our
time
connection here.
NASA told the Jews they have to start their Sabbath.
7:50 something.
Okay.
So it's,
So now what are they doing until 6:30 or whatever the hell it was?
They're taking a break.
It's
Why?
6:18,
I don't
so
know.
we are
All right.
going off record.
I don't know. Why does he do any of the things that he does? Yeah, 15 more minutes, guys. We're taking a 15-minute break.
Did he say the words?
No, but we
Oh.
got to cross it off anyway because we were just ranting about 15 minutes earlier when
Oh,
we thought
okay.
we only wasted 15 minutes of the stream.
Yeah, if only. All right, I am bringing up part 7 here, which is the last part of the hearing. There's only 52 more minutes of this hearing. So apparently he gets home just before NASA allows the Jews to begin their Sabbath. So,
Yeah, you had to ask NASA because,
yeah,
space Jews or something.
yeah, something like that.
So,
So do we only have the free space in the 15 minutes so far? on the,
yes,
all right.
as far as I know.
Okay. And I can't tell if I'm like decompressing from the stress now or if I'm just so stressed that I don't care about the stress anymore. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. So we're gonna bring this on up. I'm slightly less frazzled than before. And Megan is still here with me, and I'm still here with Megan. So that must mean that something's happening that I'm not going to jinx by talking about it.
That's working. It's working good.
Here we go, and Megan and I will resume our positions in the Shockett and Gosney chair. All right, I think that's it. So, anybody, now is your chance to get those super chats rolling. We are like $90 away from Doggo Cam, so if you're feeling
Excellent.
particularly generous. I don't deserve it today, but if you're feeling generous.
We're
you
not
need the
shilling
dog.
for super chats today after
Yeah.
that disastrous opening.
Not at all.
But you could send feeling sorry for you money.
Yeah,
You know?
sympathy bucks. We'll take sympathy
Bucks.
Anyway, let's go.
We're going to need it. We're going to be in the unemployment line soon.
Pretty much, Jeebus.
I do admire the chat, though, for your ability to entertain yourselves when we are not at our best. We'll just put it that way.
They know we'll be here eventually. Even if it takes an hour, we'll be here.
Oh, yeah, I did explain the not Steve Gosney thing. You can check off not Steve Gosney because this case is not about Steve Gosney. Strangely enough, it's
not.
another Gosney. So we can mark off not Steve Gosney.
Let's
You're
do
gonna
that.
Are you gonna smoke?
I am.
I
Need
hate
a
it when
relaxing
people
cigar.
smoke on stream with me because it makes me want to smoke and I don't smoke.
Oh, well, grab one of
And
your
if I
husband's
did-
cigars.
And even if I did smoke, I couldn't smoke inside. He'd kill me.
Here's the secret to that, Megan. Honey, you can smoke a cigar inside too.
Oh, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. He only smokes them outside by the fire.
It's because he's scared of you.
No, he's not. No, my husband's not
Okay.
scared of me. Everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks that I'm married to some guy who's like a total beta or something who runs around being scared of me. Mr. Fox is not scared of me at all. Not at all.
All righty then. Oh, Unhung Hero has something for you, Megan.
Random thought of the day. How does the Sabbath work for Jews in space when there's no sundown? This is a very good question.
That's when the space rabbi tells you when sundown is. The space Pope rabbi or whatever it was Megan called him yesterday. All right.
the Pope rabbi.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Tease tea.
Oh my God.
I need the doggos.
Well,
now you have to put them in here. You have to edit the screen and you have to put the dogs. Put
I'm
the
one
dogs
step
under
ahead
the
of you.
table. Put the dogs under the table.
That's where they are. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted to do. God damn it. See, now you've discombobulated me again. Tease tea. People aren't even going to rewatch this stream. Let the hate mail flow.
Look,
Bring it on.
If you get past the just remember the timestamps to when it gets good, and we'll put them in the
Tease tea. Woo! Take my dollars, Jeff. I need the doggos.
Oh,
Have any
fantastic!
doggos? Oh yeah, we've got Yoda over here. It's all right. Thank you. So I don't deserve that. I'm just speechless. That's just dumb. And thanks. That's all I got to say.
So generous. Thank you so much.
I got nothing other than a super special thank you for that. Present extra camera. Oh, that worked. Now watch it shut down StreamYard again. Let's see, where's the pig dog? There's the pig dog, and he will resume his already pre-planned place right here. Oh, never mind.
Hey,
there we go.
Wait a minute.
There we go.
How come I got I was under the table?
Yoda has assumed the position under the table, which
That's
ironically
fantastic.
he's actually under a table right now.
If only we could line up the table leg.
Yeah. And Jill M's with the Aussie $5 as the judge sentenced me to death. I tried to offer him a high five, but he left me hanging. And with another Aussie $5, it's law news and laughter with Aussie Overlord. Being a Jew on the ISS would be a nightmare. 16 sunsets a day. Just saying. I'm sure there's protocols for that. Oh, geez. All right. Thank you, chat. You guys are ridiculous. I love you to death, and now Megan's sad.
That's okay. I'm very happy with my $16.69.
Bernice, Jeff, wow, 14 months already. Time flies when you're having fun. Hope all is well. Yeah, I just lived through 14 months in the last 43 minutes.
In the last 40 minutes. Oh, man.
All right, people, we got 15 minutes to the 1 hour mark. I'm warning you what's going to happen at the 1 hour mark if it's still $16.69 at that. I never do this grifty thing, but fuck it. Today we're just going all in. Why not? Let's see what happens in the
hair
next
products. I will.
Let's see what happens in the next 15 minutes. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's go. Get ready for timestamp. I have a feeling it's going to be
recording in progress.
All right, we are back of record. It is just turned 6:31. Mr. Shockett, you may proceed.
Okay, that's close enough.
Thank you.
He
I'd like
said
to call Mrs. Gosney.
that implied
Close
Brenda
enough.
Gosney.
Brenda Gosney, if you could raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you will provide to this court will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay,
Maybe.
you may put your hand down. Counsel may proceed.
Yo, Mrs. G,
Good
give him
evening,
hell.
Mrs. Gosney. You are also a petitioner that's listed on the final judgment of injunction for protection against repeat violence in this case.
Yes.
Were you present at the hearing?
Holy crap. Tease tea.
Okay, that's
That's
wow.
insane. Tease tea, you're the sweetest. She dropped 100 on my channel too. Well, now we don't have to complain. Now I won't have to talk about my hair. It's over. You're not going to get the bingo square, folks. Thank you so much, Tease tea.
Yeah, seriously. I'll give you a vicarious foghorn.
There you go.
And also
what do we?
sarcasm.
Oh, sarcasm.
Yeah.
Check your Cash App. Oh, cool. Thank you. Hold on. Let's see. Cash App. It didn't send me a thing. I hate it when it does that.
Yeah, mine always come like 2 hours early.
I don't know why.
Hours later, I guess.
Yeah, the Cash App notifications are not on top of it. You have to like go to it manually.
Which I should
All right.
say, Shelly and BS sent $5 yesterday. So this is saying, this is the best amusement I've seen in a while. Y'all make my day.
And Starcasm sent 15. Thank you so much. The membership, you're going to post the membership link? Okay, let me do that. I'll give you a wrench.
Oh my gosh. And while you're doing that, like while I was reading the one that came in after the show yesterday, Shelly and BS, the initials BS, said, I love you both. Give me bullet points and I will make fake hate mail to send. Oh, just pick and choose, man. Send the hate mail. There's no shortage of things to hate today.
No shortage. And you know, today's the day where we be like, we agree with you.
Yeah.
This is a terrible show.
Shit, this is terrible. I wonder how many subscribers I've lost so far.
Oh God. We dipped on, I dropped out viewers real steep there. I don't know.
I'm at 80,502. I gained 8 subscribers. Thank you, 8 subscribers. All right,
that's awesome.
Let me know when you've got this thing figured out. Are we waiting for you to do something?
No.
Okay.
Held on September 11, 2019.
I wasn't on.
You were not?
I was not.
Okay. Did you read the transcript of that hearing that was held before Judge Browning September 11, 2019?
Yes, I have several times.
Do you know that the order, the final judgment of injunction, Section 5, Paragraph 4 says that the respondent, upon service of this injunction, shall be deemed to have knowledge of and to be bound by all matters occurring at the hearing.
Kirchhoff is talking over. She's whispering. Did you hear her?
No.
You didn't? Well, I did. I'm marking it off.
You do that.
Injunction?
I'll do it.
Yes.
So in reading the transcript from the hearing, do you know that Judge Browning told the respondent, and I quote, so when I say you can stay there, you can't have any contact with him. You can't sit down in a lounge chair and stare in his direction. He does not exist to you, nor his family. I don't want any hostile contact can be verbal. I'm sorry. I don't want and hostile contact can be verbal. It can be nonverbal. It can be by action or it can be physical. You are to have no contact with him, direct or indirect, okay? Don't do anything to provoke him, because right now this is a civil matter and I've granted the injunction. Do you know that the Judge Browning said that on September 11, 2019?
Yes, I do.
Since that injunction was entered, has
Wait a
Mr.
minute.
Griffith done anything to provoke you?
What?
Provoke me how?
In any way to provoke you to be scared of him?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, tell us.
Yoda's batting away flies.
Wait, so we're talking a 5-year period of
Since the injunction, I'm talking about since September 11th.
of being threatened.
Yes.
Yes, he has threatened us several times.
I'm asking about you, and can you be specific?
Can I be specific? I'll try to be as specific as possible. I can tell you on when we're here going, being out in the yard, when he would go in and out of his house and in and out of his vehicle, his favorite thing to say was, "Watch you die."
Objection. Saint, I'm sorry.
And
Predicate.
Hang on, ma'am, there's an objection.
Just for the record, same predicate. I think whatever she is testifying to was not something that she actually heard. It was something that she saw on a video.
She actually heard it on the video.
So,
Look.
counsel, can you have her explain the circumstances under which she?
Now, look, if somebody comes up right to my face and says, I'm going to be happy to watch you die. Or if they look at my outdoor security camera and go, I'm going to be happy to watch you die. Exactly how many fucks do I give about the difference?
There's no difference.
The answer
There's
is zero fucks
difference.
given. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why they keep objecting to this. It's ridiculous. It's another R word too, but everyone gets mad at me when I say it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, or whatever.
It's ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're paused here, people are throwing money at the Meg.
Oh, yay. King Bob, thanks for the super sticker. Appreciate that. And Rebel Bird, thanks for the 20 alms for the poor.
And Jennifer sent me the $2 for Here's for the Geek Squad Fund.
Yeah, you're going to need that. Maybe we should call Brad. Brad!
Quote, heard, unquote, because that might clarify some things. And if it goes to the weight, it could address that issue as well.
Your Honor, I think her testimony was when she was out in the yard and he was out in his yard. He said it to her. Nothing about a video. This is an improper objection.
No, what she said was,
no testimony.
what she says is whenever he goes in and out of his house and or vehicle.
What? Now
he
he's
makes these
testifying for
statements.
her.
And so
He's testifying for Brenda right now. Do we have judge testifies? We don't. God dang it.
We have to have something similar to it.
Litigating from the bench.
Yeah.
But he's testifying. Is that litigating?
Sure, why not?
All right, we're making it litigating from the bench. What is he doing? She's right there. He could ask her, ma'am, did you mean that you heard him say it to you in the yard, or did you mean from the cameras? Why is he saying no? This is what she's saying.
Yep, I agree with you. That's dumb. Stop it.
Oh, and judge interrupts Shockett. Yeah, he did. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I've
I
got
don't know if that
bingo.
means they were
I have
present at the same
bingo.
time or it's.
Bingo.
I couldn't tell. Did you say you got bingo? I know, Straubs. She's just weird. You have to deal with it. Okay.
What do I win?
It's been a dry spell for her, Strawberry. She didn't get bingo. Yeah.
I
You
didn't.
have to
It's been.
understand.
I haven't had bingo one time since we've been playing this.
All right. Just enjoy.
A correlation time frame, time and place.
Okay, let's try and clean that up.
I have to rescue a toy.
So, Mrs. Godby, was there, since the injunction was entered, did there ever occur a time when you were outside your yard and Mr. Griffith was outside in his yard and he said something to you?
Absolutely. In fact,
Tell us what he
in
said.
fact, it happened so frequently. It happened both on camera, you could hear him, and both when we were outside in our yard. And he would say,
Objection.
Please, yeah.
And he would
Let's-
say
Mr.
objection.
Gosney, please listen to the question. And please restrict your answer to the terms of the question.
okay,
You just said,
Hang
and
on.
I understand.
Hang on. I'm sorry. One more thing. It looks like Mrs. Gosney is reading something. Is she reading something?
no,
You have any papers in front of you, Mrs. Gosney?
I do, but there's nothing on them.
Can we see what you're looking at?
It's a this.
What is
It's
that?
some paper from today.
What is that?
Roger versus the state.
It's her
That's the
notes.
case law I gave you. Just put that away, please.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
I'm not reading it.
Yeah, just put it away. Put it away to stop the other guy from being a douche.
Okay, you may proceed.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so I wanted, the answers that I'm asking you, you mentioned, he said to you, I want to watch you die, both when, at times when you were outside in your yard and he was outside his property in his yard. Okay?
Yes,
Did that ever occur? Since the time of the injunction has been entered?
yes.
Okay. As specifically as you can, tell us what he said when you were outside your house and he was outside his house.
On several occasions, he had said, and specifically to specifically talk about each and every individual time.
Can you just say, quote him, what you heard, what your ears heard
Oh,
him
God.
say to you?
What my ears heard him say was, and I don't know if I can repeat it verbatim
Yes,
because
no.
I want to watch your grandchildren die, your children die, and I want to see you, make you watch, and then I'm going to shoot you both between the eyes. I was
Oh my
outside
God.
in my yard
That's pretty
when
specific.
that was said.
And that was after the injunction was in place?
Yes.
And when you heard those words, did that cause you to be in fear of imminent harm?
Absolutely. I slinked off to get into my house and stay guarded inside my house.
Was your husband home at the time?
No.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Candy.
Were there any other occasions since the injunction has been entered when you were not in your yard, but you heard Mr. Griffith say things to you that you perceived as a threat?
Yes.
Now is your time. Please tell us. And
Objection.
specifically what you heard.
Objection relevance.
So, counsel, what would be the relevance if she was not there? I don't know how she would hear something when she's not there. Like somebody could have told her what he said. I don't know.
Well, I think she meant, I'm sorry, I'll clear it up. Thank you, Judge. Bad question. When you heard something, not from any of your security system at your house, that's what I mean. Did you ever see something or hear something that Mr. Griffith said that you perceived as a threat from the security system at your house?
Objection
Yes.
relevance.
Okay, hang on. And what would be the relevance being? Meaning, I mean, relevance, the test is whether it tends to prove or disprove. She's attributing statements to him.
I saw it on the
She
video
sees-
camera.
If she sees a statement, but she's not present when the statement is made, is it a threat to her?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Oh
it's,
my
it's not a
God.
threat in the terms of a prosecutable assault because there's not an apparent ability to carry it out because she's not there. But the context of this question is whether behaviors,
Law school
which
time.
could be really broad. And again,
Yeah,
it's
law school.
subjectively, ultimately the court has to determine if objectively it would cause someone to be in fear.
Law school.
But there could be lots of different things. This is one of those that could place her subjectively in fear. And so to that extent, the objection's overruled. It certainly does go to weight and you'll have a chance to question the witness.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, an assault does not require physical touching. Some places will call it assault and battery. Some people, battery is the touching. Assault is being in imminent fear of a physical harm or an unwanted physical touching. So if I'm up in your face and I like do that, if you flinch at you, that's an assault. If it puts you in imminent fear of an unwanted physical touching. And so he's saying that if she saw this on the camera, that doesn't qualify as like a criminal assault, but it could put her in fear. And you can weigh how much fear, the judge will weigh how much fear that would have put her in to see this on the video camera. So the objection was overruled. Basically, shut up and stop bringing up this stupid video stuff because it goes to the weight of the issue at hand. And someone said here, who was it? That asked, does Randy hate this woman? No. Oh, yeah. Here was. Is it me or does Randy hate this woman? No, that's his client. He loves this woman.
Yeah.
It's what the lawyer wants the client to say is not always what the client says. The lawyer knows what he's trying to get his client to say through questioning. And the client may not always catch she may not always pick up what the lawyer's putting down, and so he's trying to get this spark to where she goes, I should mention this. He can't say, well, now remember what we talked about? Can you mention this again?
Yeah, he can't. That would be leading, and so he's just trying to get her to say all the good things he knows she has to say. But she's nervous, and she's also feels like she's under assault by this judge.
Yeah.
And so she's worried about every single thing she's saying. And this guy keeps interrupting her. So, it's a tough thing to do. I'm sorry, that dog toy, I can't even. What is that?
It's just a little red Kong thing.
That does not look like a Kong. Where did you get that and why? It looks so wrong, Jeff.
You got it at PetSmart. It's a Kong bone.
Why does it look like that? What is wrong? with
What's
this
wrong
dog
with
toy.
you? What's wrong with you, Megan? That's the question. Not what's wrong with the dog. Not what's wrong with the toys. What's wrong with you personally, Megan?
It's not just me. Read the chat, okay? Because the chat has noticed. I'm not sure that's a dog toy, Jeff.
It squeaks. It's squeaky for her pleasure.
She's very happy with it. It's cute. Is it from Temu? Is that the dog toy you got from Temu? I told you not to order those.
That's a girl dog. So yeah, what a life. That's a girl dog.
Oh,
right.
Lord.
May we get back to the legal issue at hand here?
Well, I don't know. Are you going to give both your dogs an entire bag of dicks? Is that what's going to happen here? Maybe I could concentrate. I don't know.
Yoda the boy dog sleeping. He just fell asleep.
Bag of dicks for your dogs on Temu. All right, sorry.
Yeah, people. I'm sorry. I apologize to you for the inappropriate behavior of my guest this evening.
Not for the inappropriate dog toys. No, just for us noticing.
Let's go. Shut up, chat. And see, I feel bad for the people watching this on replay after it gets edited, and they're not going to be able to see what's happening in chat.
I know. It's not my fault. The chat is going crazy about this.
As long as we're all stopped here, let's crawl through some things. Let's crawl through some things. Tie sticks for Megan Fox.
Verbal is assault when assailant is told to stop.
But a key element of assault is you have to be in an immediate apprehension of an unwanted physical touching. So, not really. And in this situation, he wasn't in front of her. She apparently saw it on a video camera. So there wasn't that immediate, like, okay,
of course,
I'm going to.
The guy lives next door.
Yeah.
What's not immediate about that?
I mean, it's the at the time you see it, are you in imminent danger? Like I said, if I'm standing in front of you and I flinch at you like this, or if I put up my dukes on a security camera, it's not the same imminent fear.
Mm-hmm.
It may be at a future time. You might be, oh my God, he might do something at some point in time. Not he's going to do something right now. It's a distinction. King Bob for me with the super sticker. Thank you so much, King Bob. King Bob. Steve Martin joke there. And the Joe Biden quote for Megan Fox.
Oh no, don't go there. Don't take my hair care square. Oh, by the way, one of the chatters tricked me into talking about my hair in chat. So you get to check off Megan talks about hair now. That was a good trick. That was a good trick. I fell for it.
And Tease T, who's been a member of Megan for 3 months.
I literally need hair talk for bingo. Well, you got it.
You have bingo now.
We were talking in chat about how much my hair has grown since they had first started watching me. It was like up to here, and now it's like halfway down my back. And I'm not growing it. I'm just lazy, and I don't go to the salon when I should.
And Luke Smith with a $10 super sticker. Thank you very, very much. Oh, let's get back into it.
Gosney, just to try to get you back to where the question was, which is related to reviewing the security system after the fact. Have you attributed statements of a similar nature to Mr. Griffith? Meaning that you've heard them on the recording, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so to clean it up, you've in person, standing outside your house since the injunction was entered, and Mr. Griffith was on his property outside of his house, he made the threats you testified to you in person, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, in addition to that, there were other times you said that you heard him make similar threats through your security system that you have in your house.
Yes.
When the security system, when you heard these threats, where was Mr. Griffith?
There were times where he was on his property outside, and there were times he was on his porch.
Okay.
And there were other times where he would be maybe getting out of his vehicle or getting in his vehicle or working on his pool.
And other times, during these times when he was outside, he was making threats to you?
Well, he would say,
Hi, Yoda.
watch you die. Yes.
This shit out
And
of
you
here.
interpret that as a threat to do violence to you?
Yes, I do.
Yoda
And that-
knew
did
you
that
put
cause
it.
you
You
to
put the
be
camera
in
on him.
Fear of imminent harm?
He gave you the side eye,
Absolutely.
Okay.
and then he walked away.
Counsel, just give me a second here. I'm just pulling up something on the evidence code that I want to clear up.
Straws.
Nobody, wait, what? Okay, people. We're just in the middle of talking. And the judge is like, well, wait a minute. There's something I'm going to pull up from the evidence code. Nobody asked you about the evidence code, Judge. There was no objections. There was, I believe Mr. Shockett was speaking, Your Honor.
So does that count as judge stops listening?
Well, it counts as interrupting, but he's already interrupted.
We already did that.
Watch it. Like nobody's talking about anything to do with the evidence code. And he's like, just hang on. Just hang on a second.
You attributed statements of a similar nature to Mr. Griffith. Meaning that you've heard them on the recording, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so to clean it up, you've, in person, standing outside your house since the injunction was entered, and Mr. Griffith was on his property outside of his house, he made the threats you testified to you in person, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, in addition to that, there were other times you said that you heard him make similar threats through your security system that you have in your house.
Yes.
When the security system, when you heard these threats, where was Mr. Griffith?
There were times where he was on his property outside.
No, still
there were
nobody's
times
talking
he was
about
on
any
his porch.
evidentiary code issues.
Okay.
And there were other times where he would be maybe getting out of his vehicle or getting in his vehicle or working on his pool.
And other times, during these times when he was outside, he was making threats to you?
Well, he would say, watch you die. Yes, absolutely.
And you interpret that as a threat to do violence to you?
Yes, I do.
And did that cause you to be in fear of imminent harm?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Counsel, just give me a second here. I'm just pulling up something on the evidence code that I want to clear up.
Nobody was talking about it. Nobody asked for your clarification.
What?
Nobody made a motion. Nobody did anything, Judge. What the F are you doing?
What is he doing?
I don't know. I just asked that question.
I don't know the answer to it, but I'm shocked by this. So, by the way, I think I just found out that Jeremy Hales has his hearing today in front of the new judge.
Yes, that is correct.
So the one about the restraining order, that he thinks is a false restraining order filed by Lynette Preston against him, will be going in front of a new judge today. Judge Brown, is it? Brown? Judge, I forget the name of his name.
Judge not de Thomases.
Not to Thomas's.
It's Judge not de Thomases.
Judge not gonna be on this case anymore.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Not Judge de
Not Judge
Thomases.
de Thomas's.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we should count this as Judge stops listening because he's listening to the
right.
voices in his head, and no one is, and he's not listening to what's going on in court. So I'm checking it off.
All right, Judge stops listening. There you go. Yeah, so this is weird. And Jill Ems was saying, what's the evidence code? There are rules of evidence. There's the Florida rules of evidence. And he's looking at something. Don't know what or why, but he's looking at something. Let's all join hands and find out.
And if you could see whatever, I'm on my phone, but I'm pulling up the evidence code because I have too many screens open up on the screen and I've got the video. So,
Nobody asked.
I've got the evidence code right here really quick. I just want to double check something.
Nobody asked.
As well as
What?
the statute.
Nobody asked.
And the statute too.
So just so that everybody's clear with regards to the context in which the court is receiving the testimony of what Ms. Gosney and previously Mr. Gosney have perceived as threatening. And as the court just said, although
That's a weird emphasis, threatening. That's just a weird emphasis on that word. He considers threatening.
Yeah,
So
he's been silent. He's been quiet for too long. The chat
Yeah.
called it. He wants his chance to talk now. It's
Yeah.
his show, and he wants to be in the spotlight.
He's just been listening so long. He's like, gotta talk. We got evidence. Yeah, it's just kind of that sort of thing. All right, let's find out what this pressing rule of evidence he has to bring up to tell us all how he is receiving this. Who cares?
listening to it on a recording after the fact when you were not in the presence of that person is not prosecutable as an assault within.
You already fucking
You already said that. We know.
You already said we already I explained it to chat. We had follow-up questions.
Wait, did we go back in time? Are the tech problems coming up next?
No, it's Judge Thomas. Of course we didn't. Anybody else, that would be a valid question. We know this. Oh my Lord.
We already had an entire discussion about it. Darlene says, does he drink? If he doesn't, he should. Someone sent me a meme they made of him having in bed with his wife, and it was basically discussing how many minutes and seconds of pleasure they were going to have. I was dying. It's 12 minutes and 17 seconds. Imagine the fights between him and his wife. I left my coffee cup on this counter at 9:48 a.m. But when I came back at 9:52, it was gone.
Or maybe they get along real well.
I doubt it.
And whoever timed out Luke Smith, why'd you do that? I didn't see anything particularly bad.
Stop modding.
Be a little chill. Be a little chill. There were some iffy things earlier on, but don't worry about it. Let's continue.
The meaning of the law. I just want to put a finer point on that. So if we were before the court that those were the quote threats unquote, they would not qualify as an assault, and under 784-0461A, it might not meet and would not meet really the statutory definition of violence. That being said, it's a broader issue at court today because there's already an injunction in place, and the question is whether there's fear, objectively reasonable.
Yeah, pontificating
of
definitely.
Violence. And so it's really circumstantial evidence that could lead somebody to that feeling, even if it's not.
You said this already too, your douche canooness.
Because the legislature, for whatever reason, has defined, violence in a certain way.
Look at
under
Randy.
subsection
He's like,
1A.
And Mrs. Gosney's just like,
Randy is about to cry or scream. No one knows which. That's funny, chat. Oh, yeah. God.
He already went over this exact same thing. And by the way, nobody effing asked him about this.
Yoda's so sweet. He just came over and gave Strawberry kisses on the head. You're so sweet. Give that dog a treat. He needs a treat.
Fat enough. We'll give him one after. We'll give him one after. All right, let's continue with this nonsense.
And case law has defined what an assault means, and it doesn't mean a threat, even if it's threatening words.
Who is talking about assault? No, nobody's talking about it.
No one.
Nobody has said the word assault. No one's hinted at assault except for you, Judge. You're the only one that has mentioned the word assault, and nobody asked you to define what assault was. Nobody gives a shit about what you're talking about right now, Judge.
I think he thinks he's a Supreme Court justice. That's what I think. And he must come up with the most creative ways to fit the law into every case because it makes him look smart.
He thinks it makes him look smart.
Yeah, he thinks it makes him look smart, but it doesn't.
Yoda's going through his 2-minute struggle here. All right, let's clear these super chats and we'll get back into it.
Okay.
Megan.
Cages, thanks for the 10. He would make a good YouTuber. Likes his own voice, gets to talk over the viewers. His court, his rules. Call it judge voice over everyone. Maybe that's his goal after disbarring.
I feel it. I'm feeling attacked. I feel attacked by that. More Megan.
Oh, Yoda AFD 20. Thanks for the 2. Judge Davis. He a no nonsense judge. Okay, Judge Davis. Thank you.
And Yoda AFD 20. Just in case you didn't know, this is my English bulldog Yoda.
That's Yoda.
What's up, Yoda?
Look at Yoda's face.
How's it going, Yoda?
Oh.
And that's Strawberry. That's Strawberry. Back to Yoda, because Yoda usually just says fuck it and goes on, sleeps on the sofa. He's giving us overtime today. All right, more Megan.
Tie Sticks, thanks to the 2. The court ordered him to stop communication. Right.
Yep.
That is true. So he shouldn't have been communicating.
Yeah. But we could order the judge to stop communicating.
Someone should. Motion
should.
to gag the judge.
That'd be like really funny if Jeremy Shockett would just like, sorry, Jeremy Shockett, if Randall Shockett just like emailed him a cease and desist order in the middle of this.
At 12:42 p.m., I received an email from Mr. Shockett requesting me that I should stop speaking. And at 12:43 and 33 seconds, I have denied that cease and desist.
And if you're not in the presence of the person, it's never going to meet that criteria. That being said, I'm accepting this to the extent that it may be relevant on the broader picture that this court has to decide today, whether there's an ongoing objective, reasonable fear of such violence. It may not be that violence within the definition, but it could be an objectively reasonable fear of such violence. The response of the witness is really giving us what her subjective fear is. And then ultimately the court has to decide based on the circumstances of the totality, whether it's objective or not. So I don't know if that made it more difficult to understand, but I want to put a finer point on when I said that it's not prosecutable. I'm talking in terms of criminal violation or the original
Fascinating story. Any chance you're nearing the end?
basis to find requisite 2 incidents, one within 6 months.
Yeah, we're not here.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
We already,
Right, because the objection keeps coming up, and I want to make sure.
Shut the fuck up.
Understood.
Quiet,
Thank you.
quiet.
So, Mrs. Gosney, the injunction also says that the respondent shall not directly or indirectly contact petitioner in any manner. Has, since the injunction been entered, Mr. Griffith made any direct or indirect contact with you in any manner?
Yes.
Simple, right to the point.
If on our street, I'm passing, we're coming and going at the same time, I always get this.
The
So
judge
does
isn't
it
even
reflect that
looking.
It's middle finger straight up in the air?
Yes, I always get a wave
He's
of
not paying
a
attention.
middle finger.
When he does that, when he does that, does that cause you to be in fear of him?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Because he hates us so badly that he has told anyone that will listen to him that
Objection,
he wants to
hearsay, and
clean
it's
the
in the
eyes.
mind of the person.
What?
So
Hearsay and what?
Something in the mind of the person.
I always get this.
So does that reflect that it's middle finger straight up in the air?
Yes, I always get a wave of a middle finger.
When he does that, when he does that?
Did he ever
does that
give double
cause you
fingers?
to be in fear of him?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
because he hates us so badly that he has told anyone that will listen to him that
Objection,
he wants
hearsay, and
between
it's
the
in the
eyes.
mind of the person.
I
In
think
the
he said
mind of the person?
assuming the mind of the person or something like that.
He said it's in the mind of the person.
You know, putting herself
that
in the person's mind or something.
Is that an actual objection?
Ish.
Wrong.
So again, what she's referring to, what she's heard from other people, is not being offered for the truth, but it's just, she hears these things, she acts upon them, whether it's reasonable
Nobody
to act on it, whether
cares.
there's any weight to be given here is a separate issue. But just, again, it's limited to the objection.
Objection!
Limited to explaining why she feels the way she does.
Bullshit.
You certainly can cross-examine her, you could certainly advance arguments.
I'm sorry, chat. We've given up on the stream tonight. We've just given up. Cue all the hate.
1,
You
2,
shut up
3,
and
4. I declare a button war.
Quiet.
you shut up
quiet.
and let's hear what the judge is saying. Yeah.
I
Not
love
today.
those comments, and they're like, "We can't hear the court." Lady, I'm doing you a favor, okay? Because if you had to sit and listen to this, you would lose brain cells.
Alabama Rose says apologies to Luke and anyone else I hid when my phone slid off the walker seat. Not walking well, especially catching the phone. I'll be careful. Well, you know what that does, Alabama Rose? That officially prohibits you from ever talking about me sleep banning people ever again. There you go. Ha ha, we're even. And Yoda AFD20 says this is for Yoda and Strawberry. I'll buy you another big red dick, Strawberry. How about that? And Fallen Hero for Megan.
Thank you for the $4 super sticker. Appreciate that.
All right, let's get back with the rambling here.
Argument that it's not reasonable to conclude that way, but she's concluding that way because of what she heard. You may proceed.
And so,
Is he done? Oh God.
and given the history, we could just say a little later when he flipped you the bird, if you will. You interpret that any differently than as if somebody else that you didn't know were to do that to you?
Yes.
And the reason is, and how is that? Is that are you more placed in fear of imminent harm because Mr. Griffith did that motion with his middle finger up in the air, or less?
Because I am well aware of how badly he hates us and wants to see harm done to us. So absolutely, yes is my answer.
Okay. Have you ever, since the injunction has been entered, seen Mr. Griffith possess a firearm? You?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Okay. Can you tell us?
I seen him put what I believe to be a pistol in his glove box.
Did she say put a footstool in his glove box?
A pistol.
A pistol. Okay, they're like footstool. I was like,
Not a footstool, a pistol.
well, that was my question. It's like, all right. Well, we have Bebop asking, does this ever end? Yeah, it ends in about 30 minutes or like 60. Yeah, about 35 minutes from now, court time. About 6 days for Megan and Legal Vice's time. And how long until NASA's declared sundown?
We're
Diane,
probably
I don't know.
around 6:40 something by now, I would say,
Yeah.
in the evening.
We're getting there. We're getting close.
And I ran in the house and took a video of it, and I went to the police officer we went to the police officer, and they said that they looked at it and they said, well, it's not clear enough for us. We'll send his probation officer out. And they did send his probation officer out, but I obviously don't know what transpired when that happened.
Are you asking this court to keep the injunction in place?
Absolutely. Please, I'm begging.
That's
Okay,
good.
nothing further.
Cross?
Sure. Okay. All right.
Sure.
So, ma'am, a couple of things regarding video and audio devices You and your husband, I'm sorry, Ms. Gosney, can you hear me okay?
Yes,
This
I
will get
can.
awkward.
Okay. You and your husband never did tell the Griffiths that they were being recorded, did you?
Nor did they us.
Well, my question is, so you never noticed then that he was being recorded and audio recording on his property, is that correct?
I'm not sure what he was aware of. I know that he has 24 cameras pointed at us and our property, and they're Ring cameras, so they also have audio. What he's aware of, I'm not sure. I'm just told you what I'm aware of.
Sure. My question,
Because apparently Florida is a two-party recording consent state. That's what he's getting at here.
But that's for the phone.
Yeah, but
That's
I think
for
that's what he's.
phone
I think
calls.
that's what he's getting.
That's a
here.
phone tapping law. That doesn't have anything to do with security cameras on your house. That's bullshit.
Yeah, but I think that's. I think that's what he's like trying to argue here.
Mm-hmm. Stupid argument, though.
Well, I didn't say it was a smart argument. I just said that's what he seems to be arguing.
it's going to go back to the deposition that we took is you never informed him that he was being recorded. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yeah, they're
No,
all
not
facing the
personally.
house.
All right. And there are no signs on your property that give anyone notice that they're
No, but there's 30 video cameras, or like was it? What did actually? I think there was 24 cameras or something like that.
Yeah, more than 20 cameras all pointing at his house down the fence
And this
line.
is the whole point when he's screaming, "Stop recording me, motherfucker!" I think he knows he's being recorded. Just
Right.
Just saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just guessing that he knew. Yeah, plain view implied consent. That might be a thing in Florida. I don't know. I'm going to shoot out your cameras. I think that means he knew they were recording. If you keep filming my living room. Sorry, Megan. I didn't mean to interrupt your button, Megan.
It's okay.
You can actually record from actual space, but you can't record from private space. And do you have a reasonable expectation of privacy kind of a thing? You're outside.
And if you're outside, then no.
Anyway, this is insert R word here.
being audio recorded. Is that correct?
Mr.
Not that I'm
Burglar,
aware
you're
of,
being
no. I
recorded.
think one says you're under surveillance.
Oh,
There's no posting or anything saying, hey, you're being audio recorded. Is that correct?
And Jeff comes through with the
I
mother
don't
effer
believe
square.
so, no.
Glad to be of service.
Isn't it true, ma'am, that you really have never had any interaction with Mr. Griffith since the injunction is entered?
No, that's not true.
Wrong.
Have you
You've
not
never
been
had
paying
any
attention?
conversation with him, any physical interaction with him? Is that right?
Objection, compound question, Judge.
You can break that up.
You've never had any physical interaction with him since the injunction. Is that correct?
Does that mean that we physically touched each other?
Yes.
What do you mean by physical?
Physical
Did
as
he-
in touching.
No.
Okay.
This will get
Did you
awkward.
Did you dance with
you've
the devil in the pale moonlight?
Never talked to each other. Is that correct?
Objection, misstates her testimony.
We shouted curse words over the fence over to each other. Does that count? People are being way too freaking generous. We've got to clear up some more super chats for Megan.
Mary Thurston, I would watch a stream that was just the buttons going back and forth. I know,
Yeah.
me too.
What is my problem?
What the fuck is that?
And Jack's mom, hey Jack's mom, what's up? Red toy dollars. The other attorney just shh his client.
Wait,
And-
what you mean?
I
Oh,
don't know. Somebody.
Kirkhoff.
Caroline B with a 5 for the better, funnier half, whichever
Well,
one.
I never. It's true, though.
That's true. Nobody ever. Caroline B for Megan Fox.
For one great, funny person. Thanks, Caroline B.
See, that was first, and then this came immediately thereafter. All right. So we are clear. Let's go.
Well, she can respond. Objections overruled.
You've never talked to each other, is that correct?
I do not speak to him. He has hollered things at me, but I do
Yes,
not
he has.
respond, and I do not speak to him.
Ma'am, do you recall taking your deposition? Page
I
180,
do.
page 187, line 14. I asked you the following question. You gave the following response. Okay, you've never talked to each other, is that right? Mr. Shockett, form. Question, directly face-to-face? Mr. Shockett, form. Answer, no. Do you recall giving that answer?
Yes, I do, but it was a different question than what you just asked me.
Ma'am, since the injunction's been entered, has your husband communicated directly with him face-to-face?
I can't answer for him.
Ma'am,
Good answer.
page 20, same page, line 87.
Well, she can't.
Question, since the injunction's
good
been
answer.
entered, has your husband communicated directly with him face-to-face?
How would I know?
If she answered, objection hearsay.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Shockett, answer, objection to form. Answer, not that I'm aware of. Do you recall giving that answer?
So what's different about what she just said? I can't answer for him.
That's what I said.
Sorry,
That's what I
the
said.
Godzilla button was a pure accident.
Ma'am, have you ever witnessed any communication during the period of injunction between Philip and your husband?
Yes,
Ma'am, do you recall page 87, line 24? Just 1 second.
Burning Sensation says, Jeff, you should get the What's Your Malfunction from Full Metal Jacket. Well, I do have this one.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
That's as close as we're going to get.
Hang on just 1 minute. I got to pull up. I'm missing a page.
Oh,
Have you
transcript
ever witnessed
fuckery.
any communication during the period of injunction.
He's missing a
between Philip and your
page.
husband?
All right. You're just,
Mr. Shockett, form, answer. I don't recall. You recall giving that answer?
but if that's what I said, that's what I said. But I do recall an incident. If you'd like to hear about it.
I'm going to ask you about that incident right now. You mentioned an incident about, give me just 1 second.
all right. We have a question here that needs to be answered. Caroline B says, so this guy is for what side? In the upper right-hand corner, we have Randall Shockett and the Gosneys, who are seeking to continue to have the protective order or whatever it is against the Griffiths remaining in place despite them having moved to Indiana, because they apparently can come back anytime they want. And down here, who is asking the questions now on cross-examination, is Mr. Griffiths, with an S,
Griffiths.
Griffiths, who is the lawyer for the Griffiths, who they don't want this injunction order against them anymore. Why have I got the hiccups?
Too much bourbon? Not
And
enough
I think it was
bourbon.
an incident that occurred on 10/13 of 2022. You called law enforcement indicating that
Oh my God. Sarcasm just gave me an idea.
What?
Archie Bunker sound clips.
Oh God, those would be fantastic.
Oh geez, would you look at that? Those sort of things. Meathead. We need to
Meathead.
get a meathead button. Thank you, Sarcasm.
Mr. Griffith was making threats to you, and this is in evidence already, Judge. Mr. Griffith has been making
He's a
threats
nice
to you
young
earlier this
man,
morning.
Archie.
Brenda said that Philip didn't specifically say her name. However, she was sure he was talking about her. She advised that he stated that he wanted to shoot her and everyone. Brenda advised this occurred at 7:30 hours on 10/13/22 and that she didn't feel comfortable.
Okay, now all joking aside, any guy that is just continuously recorded saying, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to shoot your family, I'm going to shoot your kids, I'm going to shoot everyone, that is kind of a red flag that you kind of need to look into, I think. This is a guy who's unhinged.
You
allegedly.
think?
I mean, this guy...
Right away.
This guy just seriously, if he's just wandering around going, I'm going to shoot everybody, this is kind of at very least, it's an anger management issue.
You think?
Yeah.
Contacting the sheriff's office until her husband came home from
I'm
work.
is this impeachment? I'm not sure is he reading from a transcript? I'm not sure what we're having here.
So there's a
Transcript
report,
fuckery.
I think that's in evidence. that's
Transcript
being referred
fuckery.
to, and he's asking, like, really confronting her with extrinsic evidence in terms of whether she agrees with that report.
Okay.
Similar to, I think it was the
I need a
deputy
comfort
breeding,
break in my courtroom. I'll be back.
Mr. Gosney report that deputy breeding so-and-so when deputy breeding reports arguably something else. So it's a confrontation by extrinsic evidence.
So, ma'am, is that the incident you're talking about?
We spoke about this incident earlier. I was outside on our property, in my yard, and that was the incident where he threatened to kill my grandchildren
Jesus.
Okay.
and my children and make us watch and shoot us between the eyes, and that made his dick hard. And I ran in the house and called my husband, and I waited until he came home. When we drove up to the Levi Sheriff's, Levi County Sheriff's Department, and made that report, and that was that report.
Okay. Did you recall the officer telling you that he observed the video and audio that your husband had, and while listening, I could not hear any specific threats towards Brenda, William, or to their grandchildren? I have attached the recordings to this report. I verified the injunction was still in place with the Levy County Communications Center. Do you recall that?
He said that they couldn't charge him because he did not specifically say our names.
Okay. Did he advise you and your husband that Philip did not violate the injunction because he was just yelling outside on his own property and nothing was stated specifically towards them?
I don't believe that's how he worded it.
Okay. The deputy also gave you a case number for that incident, all right? Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, isn't it true that none of the allegations, well, let's strike that. Let's back up. Ma'am, how many times have you called law enforcement since September of 2019 to report Mr. Griffith?
I'll say like 40 million.
Injunction?
You know, 4.5, 5 years, however long it was, is a very long period of time. And there's no way for me to recall every single incident. There were so many. I don't know if I called, my husband called. I know we both have.
Okay, that wasn't my question. How many times have you called?
She just said she doesn't know, asked and answered.
I explained to you that I don't know.
Have you called since 2019 to report him?
I believe maybe over music.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jill, we didn't get there yet, but now that Megan's back, you missed the additional. Remember when she testified that he said that he was going to kill her grandchildren, then kill her children and make them watch, and then put a bullet between their head.
I do remember. I recall that. Yes.
Well, she just added another element to that.
Okay.
He was going to make them watch them shoot their grandchildren, then their children, and then shoot them between the eyes, which, quote, makes my dick hard.
Oh, yikes. Oh, we forgot to
Yeah.
put Dick Hart on the bingo card.
No, yeah, thank you for not putting it on there. Jill M.
Talk
to the
to
Aussie
Strawberry.
$2.
She knows.
I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. I would do anything for love.
Oh, and it's time for those of you who are doing laundry to change your load. Change the load of laundry, folks.
You heard it. Megan Fox says, change your load.
Hey, phrasing.
Fun dying our over the road King Man Trucker. What's up? Member for 23 months. Just drove through Delphi, Indiana. Anus. What? To Kenosha.
What?
Where'd the anus come from?
I think it was supposed to be Indiana.
Indiana. But
Indianus. That's funnier.
that is Delphi, Indiana, into Kenosha with 45,000 pounds of coke. How scared should I be? At least it isn't Levy County, Florida. Thank you so much. And just a reminder to anyone who happens to have this on whilst traveling, anybody that's within the sound of my voice, do not text and drive. Just sit back, enjoy the drive, and take care. Just don't text and drive. And that's on behalf of Fun Dying and all the other truckers out there. They do not need you texting and driving.
No.
Is that before or after the injunction?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Since the injunction is under, can you testify to the court if you've ever called to file any sort of complaint on violation of the injunction relating to Philip Griffith?
Now, Luke, I stood up for you a minute ago, but come on.
I don't have any other questions.
Oh, he doesn't have any more questions. Good. That's it.
No, Jim.
Okay, any additional evidence, testimonial or otherwise to present on behalf of the Gosneys?
Oh,
No.
no, Your Honor. No further questions.
Okay,
We rest, Jim.
any additional evidence on behalf of Mr. Griffith?
No, sir.
Right, so we're at 6:58. We've got a little bit of time left. I would
6:58.
suggest if you've
We
got-
have time left. Yeah, because it's not sundown quite yet.
And he's got less than 30 minutes to go here. How are you on time? We've got 20 minutes left
I'm good.
until we hit the 2-hour mark. All right. Well, we'll
I'm
burn.
good.
We're going to go to the end of this come hell or high water.
All right.
And today is Wednesday. So we're going to finish the hearings here today. And then Thursday and Friday, we are going to be going through the motions that have been filed since this hearing. We'll be doing those on Thursday and Friday if StreamYard lets me.
I'm sure.
And I
it'll
know
be
what
fine.
the argument is to
Yeah.
some extent. Ms. Kirkhoff presented some of the argument
Kirkhoff.
previously. I've received and reviewed the case sites that everybody's provided to the court. But if you each want to just give a summation, allow opportunity to do so at this time.
Closing arguments.
Ms. Kirkhoff and or Mr. Griffiths on behalf of the respondent.
Let me summarize the
Excuse me.
Griffiths
I said
argument.
Mr. Could you tell the court what color eyes the defendants have?
Or that was a slip. It's or.
I love that movie.
I understand this part.
Okay.
What?
So, Your Honor, just a summation of what the evidence shows. A public records request shows 8 law enforcement reports over a 4.5-year period. Only 8. It doesn't show hundreds, 20.
Only
10.
8?
It shows 8.
Only 8, Jeff.
Only 8.
How many law enforcement reports do you have against you this year, Jeff?
0 as far as
Less
I know.
than 8, probably.
But I
8
did.
seems a lot.
I did have someone tried to deliver a registered mail to my house today while I was at work that came from the local police department. So I have to go to the post office to figure out what the hell that's about
Oh,
tomorrow
Lord.
morning. there's a registered mail from the police department. So the answer to that may be 1.
Maybe 1.
Maybe 1.
8 seems a little excessive. I don't know.
I'm hoping it's just a traffic ticket, a camera-induced traffic ticket, but it may be.
I like how she's like, it's not hundreds, right? It's just
only
8.
Only 8.
It's not hundreds of police reports, just 8. Just 8
Sally
times.
Bischoff said, I live in Indiana and there's a town named Uranus. Okay.
This'll
Of
get
those
awkward.
8, 2 were the predicate incidents for the petition, and only 6 came after. Those reports were admitted into evidence. Of those 6, Kimberly calls one. Mr. Griffith's wife calls once, reporting that their fence was tampered with and just wanted to document. So it was an informational report. Philip called once because a string in his conduit was tampered with. And in that event, Mr. Gosney was spoken to by law enforcement, and nowhere in that report did he mention Philip was screaming or yelling at him in any way. He just simply denied.
If you're going to be talking about strings and conduits, no.
I know. I don't want to
10/13,
know.
2022, Brenda calls stating her neighbor is making threats towards her. That's the one she just talked about in the police report.
Stupid case.
And everyone at law enforcement who listened to it couldn't really find any threats, just somebody speaking in his backyard. Philip's location was unknown during that, and it was provided via a video, in which he's not even on the video, according to the notes there. On 6/9/2023, Mr. Gosney makes a report that the neighbor was putting contaminated water on his property, stating that either he directed Mr. Griffith, apparently, according to the Gosneys, directed his pool guy to put excess water onto their property.
What? You're not helping your case here. Why are you saying all of the horrible things that the opponent has argued that your guy is doing? Why are you arguing this? Where are you going with this?
At 128, we know the 126 call stating Mr. Gosney makes the report, but rather than be in imminent fear and all that, he predicates the call in a very casual manner. We heard the audio that his attorney told him to call, provide.
Imminent fear is for an assault. Well, I guess part of this as well. But again, he's saying it goes to the weight. It might not be imminent to the level of an assault, but it could still be imminent in the scope of imminence as far as a restraining order is concerned.
It's
like he may not come and harm you in the next 2 seconds, but it might be in the next day, week, month.
Right.
A 500-foot Google map with an extrinsic circle put on there with a radius and all. And to 6/2024, Mr. Gosney calls law enforcement, again predicated not on fear or anything, just that his attorney directed him to complain that the Gosneys won't leave the building from which a depot was scheduled. So that's the entirety of the police reports in the record.
Why are they getting to talk again? Is this their closing arguments?
Yes, these are the closing arguments.
Oh, okay.
Hang tight, Megan. You can.
Okay,
you can do it.
I really don't like her voice, and she talked so much during all of these. Not today, but these other parts. Like it's just, I'm feeling a little PTSD from her.
The Gosneys, especially William Gosney, changes his facts versus different, whether he shot a gun or didn't shoot a gun, as he chooses. That it's clear that those events have changed over the years, depending on who he speaks to. The fear that they have, they very well may have some subjective fear, but the standard for the injunction is not a subjective fear. It's not enough to maintain a permanent injunction. The case law is clear. Hobbs v. Hobbs, 290 Southern 3rd, 1092.
Which says what? What does it
At
say?
the Florida First DCA 2020.
What does it say?
For determining whether an incident creates substantial the distress that's required, courts must use a reasonable person standard, not a subjective standard.
Okay, a reasonable person. Would a reasonable person be concerned and in fear of their safety if someone's in your video camera going, "I'm gonna kill your grandchildren, make you watch. I'm gonna kill your children, and then I'm gonna put a bullet between your eyes, and that makes my dick hard."
Ew.
Ew. Yeah, that makes
a reasonable person would absolutely sell everything they own and move. Frankly, I don't know why they want to stay in this house. This is the thing. Like 3 years ago, I would have moved. Like, I know you bought a house, you like the house, but guess what? There are other houses. There are other places to go in the world that aren't in Levy County next to psychos.
Well, I guess it's like the Office Space clip where the character Michael Bolton is constantly being asked, why don't you change your name?
Yeah.
Why should I have to change my name?
He's the ass clown.
He's the one that sucks.
This is the only button I have from that one.
What would you say you do here?
I love that button.
I think I took it off. I had the jump to conclusions button for every time people would jump to conclusions. I think I took it off.
It's a jump to conclusions, Matt.
Oh yeah, I took it off. Damn it! Oh well.
In the Hobbs case, her fear from harm for Mr. Hobbs had to be objectively reasonable.
What? Oh,
She
okay.
just glitched.
So I tell my daughters, because teenagers do this, they get caught up in and then they go blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I try to tell them, don't do that. You'll get into the habit. Then you'll be in front of class giving a presentation. You'll mess up on your words and you'll go blah, blah. This woman literally just did it in court.
That's the thing. Of course, I just do it for comedic effect here on my stream, but don't let them see your mistakes. Just roll with it, and they won't know. Okay, continue.
Of the circumstances, and in that case, the evidence did not show that the fear was objective.
The chat wants you to rewind. They missed it.
All right.
That's a Florida First DCA 2020. For determining whether an incident creates substantial the distress that's required, courts must use a reasonable person standard, not a subjective standard. In the Hobbs case, her fear from harm for Mr. Hobbs had to be objectively reasonable based on all of the circumstances. And in that case, the evidence did not show that the fear was objectively reasonable.
She glitched twice in the same sentence. It's like Rocky Horror with anticipation.
She's having a hard time reading out loud. She was probably the kid in the classroom who hated getting called on to read out loud. Oh, it's funny.
That's what we're saying here. There's no objective basis for them to hear things through monitors or people speaking in their backyard and being recorded and then enhanced so that they can listen to them in their own home and decide that what they're speaking about must be references to them. That's all we're kind of hearing.
Watch You Die is not about them.
Their belief, but yet everyone that they've shown these
Watch You Die,
Watch You Die videos to has not had the same belief. They don't walk away. Well, their response to that is law enforcement obviously doesn't do their job.
I'm waiting for her to say unburdened.
That's pretty
by what has been
an uncredible statement. The fear. So what is this fear that they have? And when they invite the situations, they're enhancing volume to hear things. They're creating.
Objection. None of these. This is not an evidence, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there was no testimony on enhancing volume.
Objections overruled. It's a reasonable inference from when you hear a recording after the fact.
Just say no. Don't just say overruled, and people go, all right. If you give your stupid lame ass, see, he doesn't. I don't think he realizes that this can kind of set him up for appellate issues. If he just says overruled, then it's up to an appellate court to figure out why it was overruled. Was it a reasonable? Was it a lawful overruling or not. But if he says overruled because of this, and this, that's setting up a possible appellate issue where the court says, no, that's not a good reason to overrule that objection.
And anyway, what's a reasonable inference if it's the facts aren't in evidence? How can you have a reasonable inference that she did something to the sound to make that has to be in evidence? That can't just be you can't just infer that they enhanced the sound so they could hear this man.
Stop asking intelligent questions, Megan.
How dare you?
I apologize.
Opposed to the times when the witnesses, the Gosneys, testified they were in his presence. It's distinguishing between the record back, playback. It's a reasonable inference.
Correct.
I want my life
Thank
back.
you. So, and again, when he's presented with evidence.
Wait, the judge gave him this, and she says, "Judge, correct."
Oh, sucking up.
I think that counts as sucking up.
Opposing counsel sucking up.
Absolutely. That counts as opposing counsel sucking up. Correct, Judge. You're a smart judge.
You're so smart.
Lord.
Such as the Georgia record on the dead docket. You heard Mr. Gosney testify that he knows it was expunged. He spoke to his attorney and it was expunged, but somehow I magically did a public records request and it came up. And I was able to order the entire docket and learn from the district attorney that the case was actually never moved off the dead docket, and that was probably a mistake on somebody's part, but that meant the statute of limitations hadn't run and the charge could actually go forward.
What?
The mud, scum queen.
That to say that, oh, I know my attorney told me, yet we have the record. If it was expunged, I clearly would have no way without a court order to see it. You'd have to do a motion and have some kind of predicate requirement as to why that the Florida bar might have the ability to look into somebody's sealed record. Clearly, I do not. So the statements as to what they ask us to believe, they're inconsistent and they don't really tell a story of people who are afraid. They tell a story of people who really watch and pray.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
On their neighbors through camera devices. So I would assert that, again, that they may be having some subjective fear.
They might. Well, okay, that statement just helped their case. Well, I submit they may have had some objective fears, but, and I should have finished the sentence before I interrupted, but let's go back about 30 seconds here and listen to that all the way through without my ridiculous interruptions. I apologize.
The statements as to what they ask us to believe, they're inconsistent and they don't really tell a story of people who are afraid. They tell a story of people who really watch and prey upon their neighbors through camera devices.
Wait, so she's saying that they're the predators?
Yes.
The Gosneys are the predators because they have cameras filming the guy saying he wants to put a bullet in all their relatives' head and it makes his dick hard. Yes. They're the predators. And look, I don't know who's right or who's wrong. I just care about the judge and what the judge is doing, but that was a dumb thing to say.
That's their argument.
It takes two to argue. I'm not saying either one of these parties has completely clean hands, but that was a dumb thing to say.
So I would assert that, again, that they may be having some subjective fear. Not a single incident that they testified to described imminent danger that would be objectively reasonable. They've always waited to make the call. They call their attorney first, who then directs them to make a call. The calls are several hours after the event. They can't even tell you when. So there is no imminent danger that has ever been expressed in any of the
she's got an
testimony documents.
Her headache has Excedrin written all over it.
I need Excedrin. That's the Excedrin face. They should hire her for the commercial. This is the perfect face for that commercial.
Does your neighbor keep talking about murdering all of your relatives and your family?
And the judge won't do anything about it?
That could give anybody a splitting headache.
Statements, it's just not there. So in order to have this injunction in place, clearly you have to have circumstances that warrant it. Here, we're going to, again, I've stated earlier in the record that this was a consent injunction to begin with, that it looked like it would be a good thing to kind of keep the status quo, but it serves no purpose now. Our clients have moved. Whether or not they can come back to the city of Inglis and go back and forth, that's in any case.
Her voice is really weird and it kind of annoys me after a while. I don't know what it is about her voice, but it's just kind of annoying me, Megan.
I know it's
domestic
terrible.
violence. They move in and out. They travel. So that is no basis to keep this going.
I shouldn't comment on people's appearances or their weird vocal inflections.
Why? What do you mean? I'm sorry. Am I on the right channel?
I'm trying to be better.
Somebody got mad at me the other day because I made comments. I was watching a news broadcast and I made comments about the news broadcasters and what they were wearing and how their hair looked. I'm like, have you been here before? Have you met me?
Other than their subjective beliefs of what's occurred over the last 4.5 years of violations. They talk about all these violations and yet not a single violation exists. So their way that they frame and see the world is much different than the way a reasonable person would see the world, and that is the standard. Again, they apparently live in a world where they're hypersensitive, hear things that aren't there.
Now they're hallucinating. They hear things that aren't there.
But they have all the recordings. We've played a bunch of them.
They're hearing things that just aren't there. Wow.
Make stretches and illogical leaps to get to conclusions. They see guns and shadows of pictures that they take to law enforcement, and law enforcement, if law enforcement could see a gun in that car, they would have enhanced that photo and they would have turned it over and gone and gotten them. They would want them to be safe. But they're seeing things that no one else sees. They're hearing things that nobody else sees. They're putting meaning into their statements that just aren't there. It's just, there is no objectively reasonable standard here. They've not shown any imminence of harm. Again, they're talking about all these events since he's moved at the beginning of his testimony. And yet again, not a single phone call to report other than these 2 staged incidences. He was helping a neighbor with lawn chores, and they called because it was their belief that there was a violation. Then they throw in because we're afraid. It's like they've tagged.
Button, please.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
That's her argument
to everything.
And weird, play that button again.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
It sounds like her.
I know.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
That's totally the
conclusory.
Totally her voice. That's totally her. Where were you when that plane video was filmed? Because we can't find the real person. Where were you on that? Oh Lord!
But it's not showing. The situation doesn't show how anyone can have fear.
I'm never going to be able to unhear it. I'm just hearing it in her voice.
That is totally her voice. No, chat. Kill me if I'm wrong. Play that again and listen. Juxtapose.
That motherfucker back there is not real.
So we would assert
Oh,
the
never
change
mind.
of circumstance
She just did it a second ago.
clearly warrants the termination, dissolution of this particular injunction. The lack of any credible testimony as to a violation or an imminent incident that truly would have put a reasonable person in fear has not been in the record. And if you were to leave this injunction in place, the biggest problem with it is you leave them in this campaign, facilitating their campaign of filing these false police reports, or maybe, doing other things to, I don't know, but I can't even imagine. It seems like they would want it. A reasonable person would want this dissolved so they could redepose him in the civil case, get whatever evidence they want, and go prosecute their claims. That seems to be opposite of what they're doing. They seem to want to lock him, knowing that he has these rights, and then they want to use his rights against him in both cases. This isn't reasonable on an objective standard. This is clearly some sort of manifestation that they have. I'm not a doctor. Maybe a doctor can explain it in the other case. But as to this case,
He's literally saying they're crazy and they need a doctor.
Yeah. Okay. Randall has had enough. He's making an objection. Randall's had enough.
Hang on. Objection's overruled. It's argument.
That's correct. I mean, I'm acknowledging that they might be living in some sort
sucking
of
up again. That's correct.
State of fear, but it's certainly not anything that a reasonable person would have in the situation. So again, I'm just going to stand on my cases in the case pack. There's nothing that precludes us from having this injunction terminated under res judicata. Again, they have no expectation of privacy in directing, being told by their attorney to call law enforcement when we're all attorneys there, and could have resolved the situation by simply asking some people to go park down the road so some cars could get out, but they chose not to do that. That's what was so fascinating and remarkable about the event. Nothing was handled the way a reasonable person would have handled the event. It was done for the production of the event.
Yeah, no reasonable person would record their neighbor saying crazy, weird shit about murdering them. No reasonable person would call the cops 8 times. No reasonable person would. Oh, good Lord.
And that's just not reasonable. The abusive process and how this is being used speaks for itself. And again, we would ask the court to dissolve this injunction and to make some specific findings regarding some of the allegations made in the response by counsel, in addition to the inconsistent statements and testimony by these witnesses.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. Shocker.
Everything that guy just says is bullshit. Thank you.
May it please the court.
That was the most. I'm sorry, Randall, if you happen to be watching this at some point. That was the most disingenuous, if it pleases the court, I have ever heard in my life. That was the most disingenuous, if it pleased the court.
This poor guy. Imagine having to go in front of this man and make an argument. It just seems so pointless. At this point, he should just throw his papers up in the air and say, I give up. I give up. Just do what you're going to do.
That's what I'm saying. That was honest to God in my entire, almost 28 years of doing this lawyer shit. That is the most disingenuous, if it pleased the court, I've ever heard. That was good. Casey, mister, we'll go back and just listen. Listen.
He's like, the sun is going down. I'm going to get kicked out of my temple. I
dripping with anger, sarcasm, bitterness, everything. It's dripping with everything. Let's go back about 30 seconds and listen to this. The most disingenuous, if it please the court, you will ever hear.
Not reasonable. The abusive process and how this is being used speaks for itself. And again, we would ask the court to dissolve this injunction and to make some specific
listen to
findings.
this. This is great.
Regarding some of the
love
allegations
Randall here.
made in the response by counsel, in addition to the inconsistent statements and testimony by these witnesses.
Here we go. Listen to this.
Mr. Shock.
May it please the court.
May it please the court.
May it please the court.
May the court go intercourse itself.
May the court go fuck itself.
Let's talk objectively. You have an objective situation that began with a temporary injunction in 2019 and a full hearing that objectively, without the parties even mentioning these parties, winds up with an order which says that the respondent is deemed to have knowledge and to be bound by all matters occurring at the hearing and on the face of the injunction. And you have this court, well, it wasn't this court, it was the county court, I believe. But anyway, this court in Levy County.
Let's just be clear. It's the county court judge at the time, Judge Browning, sitting in the capacity as an acting circuit judge, because
why is he
in
interrupting?
DV and domestic violence and or repeat violence court, it's
Have you never seen Judge DeThomas's before, Megan?
He has to correct him. He's correcting him again. I should have put that in here. Judge corrects Randy.
Don't you know who the judge is, Megan? Come on.
My God. This guy. Notice how he didn't interrupt Kirchhoff at all. Not once. He sat there very quietly.
No, not at all.
circuit court responsibility, but on that day, and there's nothing in the record to indicate why, but he was acting circuit judge.
Well, there was a judge. We had a vacancy at that point, I think.
For whatever reason, but
Whatever.
when you say it's this court, it's the court of jurisdiction, which is the 8th Judicial Circuit in and for Levy County.
For
Correct.
fuck's sake, he knows what court he's in.
And when the court then tells the respondent in ruling and pronouncing at the hearing, it says, Judge Davis did waive that 500-foot rule, so the court is waiving the 500-foot rule. You can live at your house, Mr. Griffith. But right now, if you're facing aggravated assault with a firearm, and I'm sure your attorney will instruct you, you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. But that particular charge carries a minimum mandatory prison sentence. So whatever guidance you have,
I'm just thinking Randall sounds a bit angry.
You think?
A little bit of righteous indignation here.
So he's referring to the fact that this guy is under criminal investigation for the assault with a deadly weapon, which would come with jail time. And so just that fact alone, and it was against his neighbor, should have this judge be like, yeah, I'm not going to dissolve this. Like we're there's an open criminal case. What are we doing?
whatever grievance you have with your neighbor, whether it be justified or not justified, you are the person who's sitting at the breach. So when I say that you can stay there, you can't have any contact with him. You can't sit out in a lounge chair and stare in his direction. He does not exist to you, nor his family. I don't want, meaning the court, and hostile contact can be verbal and it can be nonverbal. It can be by action.
Button, Megan.
No.
What would you say you do here?
Thanks, Lux.
Can be physical. You are to have repeatedly said, second time now, you are to have no contact with him, direct or indirect. Okay? Don't do anything to provoke him. Because right now this is a civil matter and I've granted.
Thank you, Danny.
Any objective person sitting there and hearing that, like Mr. Gosney was, feels secure that and hoped that the respondent would follow everything that was on the injunction that he was told at the hearing. And what we have here, Judge, is someone who has literally you've got enough evidence to see that there's been violations of these instructions all along. What the record should be is that they've never contacted each other directly or indirectly. They've never spoken to each other. They never said anything. They never said anything about each other's grandkids, or you ruined my, whatever that was, the line going through my house. These are all, that was uncontroverted. There's a lot of things that were uncontroverted evidence in front of you that someone's sitting there in their position thinking they're going to be okay. And they've lots of reporting, lots of things. There's this injunction is a hot injunction, Judge. There's been a lot of activity surrounding it. And we also just heard that they don't live there anymore. Are we really to interpret that seriously? They own the property. They can go right there tonight. Are we to believe that someone can get into an RV and park it in an RV park or somewhere and rent property in Indiana, and that means they're never going to come back? When they testified, she can come back at any time. She never testified, Judge, and I heard you say, and I want to correct it, that she has no intention of returning to Florida, which involves a legal issue regarding to domicile and intention and residency. But be that as it may, this is only, we heard evidence, uncontroverted, that he was just there 2 months ago, right in their face on the property. So this is nothing.
You know what we forgot?
What?
We forgot to mark off 911. They've called 911 8 times in the
Oh, yeah, we did.
mark off 911.
911. I can't believe no dog snores. It looks like
I'm
Yoda should be snoring.
I'm being too loud.
Oh.
They're not getting enough rest. This guy.
Like any of the cases, if there's going to be a situation where they spent a significant amount of time, hundreds of miles apart, that's a different story. That didn't happen. That happened in this case at all. That's not happening in this case. He's free to be relieved from everything that Judge Browning told him. If you dissolve this injunction,
I don't have bingo yet. There's 25 squares. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I only have like 10 that aren't filled in.
I've got one more for double bingo. I need Judge contradicts self.
I need like one of everything. I mean, this is weird. There's 25 squares. I have 15 marked off and no bingo.
And no bingo.
He's free to return right now and not have an injunction, which you've heard evidence that they're relying on this sliver to protect themselves. He is a powder keg, Your Honor. He's not testified. And I beg you to please follow the case law and follow what we've provided as far as someone in this position who is seeking to get affirmative relief and remove a permanent injunction. And then when asked questions about it in a very much related case, which you've accepted evidence and testimony and transcripts in this very record.
Transcripts.
What do we get for what happens if Randall talks in Muppet voice? Do we...
That was almost Muppet voice. Transcripts.
No. Love you, Randall.
His transcript, he took the fifth so many times. I don't want to we'd be here till 8. It was such a long list, it would take me till 8 o'clock. But that's in the record. So the inferences alone
would frown upon
the negative adverse inferences from his refusing to answer any question about the injunction or violation of injunction, while it does protect him from being prosecuted or having consequences, it doesn't allow him to then protect him from prosecution and allow him to remove the injunction. As I said before, there's no one case that has someone successfully dissolving a permanent injunction and pleading when asked questions about it. Statute 90.510 also, Judge. So we ask you to deny the injunction. I'm sorry, we ask you to deny the motion to dissolve the injunction. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel. All right, we are at 7:18. The court has received quite a bit of testimony and
7:18.
items of evidence that the court's going to need to review.
Imagine the bailiff and the clerk, what they're thinking.
And they're certainly aware.
Yeah, they're not scoring any brownie points. The boss isn't scoring brownie points with the court staff at this point. who can
7:18.
never go past 5 o'clock because that would be horrible, and he would never ask his.
He would never do that to his
staff
court
do that.
staff.
Never, ever.
Aware of the applicable case law, but want to look at it in light of the facts as the court just received here today. So I'm going to take this matter under advisement. I will issue a ruling without delay, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to have the court reflect and to give you a written order. With regards to moving forward next week, I don't know that I'm going to have time to get a written order. It's already orally pronounced as of here today, unless there's anything further to be heard as to 38/2023 CA58. Basically, it's a conditional order granting continuance, as I said before, conditioned upon, and I would suggest, Mr. Shockett, before the close of business Monday, if you're able to, or at your earliest reasonable convenience, if you've selected a jury and you are docketed to try that case on Tuesday after selecting the jury, in that event, the motion to continue is granted, and come 5 o'clock or close of business Monday, we'll all know. Counsel,
Probably no sooner, just because we pick a jury early in the morning. I think we start actually the case in the afternoon.
Yeah, he's gone over this
it's a
5
pick
times.
and go?
At least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So in that event, if you're pick and go, chances are after you seat the jury and before you conduct opening statement, you'll have a minute or two.
Yeah, there's breaks.
Yeah. Get us, get information to my JA. You could do it by email, copy to opposing counsel. And if that's the case, we'll just reconvene after you return out of that trial, and we'll work on a rescheduling date. And I'll do my best to find, it's not the easiest thing to find a 4-hour or 5-hour block type thing, but we're going to do our best because your appearance in a circuit civil trial in another jurisdiction is good cause for the continuance. If for any reason, it does not proceed-
Please also do it just in case I get tied up. No, she's with me down there as well. Can she contact your JA as well if necessary?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
If for any reason it does not proceed, then you're to be present, and we'll proceed to commence at 1 o'clock on Tuesday the 16th. All right, so Mr. and Mrs. Gosney, you guys should keep in contact with your counsel and make sure that he's got the ability to contact you Monday night or Tuesday morning. We may be back here, but we're all going to be just kind of waiting on that. That's all I guess I could say. Mr. Griffith, same thing. Keep in contact with your counsel and make sure that they can contact you on short notice. All right. Anything further, Mr. Shockett, on behalf of your clients?
No, Judge.
Anything, Mr. Griffiths and or Ms. Kirkhoff, on behalf of your client?
No, thank you.
All right. We'll stand adjourned. You all stay well. Have a good weekend.
Well, Randy, you have exactly maybe 20 minutes before sundown.
He's like, boom, I'm out. Boom. He's like, hey, client, see you later. Boom, I'm out of here. They're like, hey, where'd our lawyer go?
God, this guy.
I think that's all we got here. There's like another Florida 8th District. The judge is out. Oh my gosh. There's Strawberry's head. There we go. Hi. All right. We will remove the doggo cam so we can wind on down.
All right.
Oh, well, aren't you special? No, Perry, you and your double bingo. How did I not get bingo at all? What do I need for bingo? I need an unreasonable demands. There was none of that, damn it. Dog snores. Screw you for not sleeping, pig dogs.
Dog snores.
Judicial arm wave. There was no judicial arm waving.
He did one thing where he went like this, but it wasn't really a wave.
Yeah, there was no calendar fuckery.
No.
Dang it. Oh, well. Let's see. Make sure we're caught up on these. Tammy Fayette. Hey, Tammy, do I have to do ASMR? Tammy Fayette with a super sticker. Tammy Fayette likes.
I may have to do a new bingo card for tomorrow. I think I'm going to do a new one.
And for you, Megan Fox.
Yes.
If that's your real name. This is for you.
Jill M's, thanks for the 10. Just sharing the love. Well, I love you back. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
And again for Megan.
Starcasm, thanks for the 5. God can do anything. He can turn your jawbone into an ass. Archie Bunker. Yeah, you need to look up some of those, Jeff, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be good. And for me, Jill M to the $5. This case should be called Love by the Dashboard Lights. Oh, good meatloaf there. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. All right, that catches us up on all the super chats. Now for all the hey, I've been paying attention to this case and I just want to throw some extra super chats. Now is your time to do that while we wind this stream down. The first thing I need to do is remind each and every one of you to hit the like button. We currently have 1,200 people watching this. I have 432, which means Megan's got like 800 viewers.
727.
Well, aren't you special? Make sure that if you're watching my channel, you like and subscribe to me. And if you are subscribed, just double check to make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're watching me, make sure you get on over to Megan Fox and like her stream as well and subscribe to her and vice versa. You 800 people. I'm sure there's at least 200 of you that aren't subscribed to my channel. Stop that. Get on over here, subscribe to me right now. Just do it and like my stream as well. I'm going to cough.
Should. All right. While Jeff's coughing. No, that was fast.
Well, mute. And Jill M's the $2 Ozzy. Thank you so much. Love you, Jeff. Love you too, Jill. You are so awesome. And thank you for staying up late Aussie time. I don't know if you're Western, Eastern Australia. I know there's nothing in the Central Australia, but if you're left or right, if you're right, thank you so much for staying up super late. Appreciate that. So again, make sure just subscribe to both of us, like both of our streams, and I put up my like and subscribe my like and subscribe poll. We'll shut this down here, but the like and subscribe poll for the evening was: will I get to 81,000 subscribers? No, was the answer to that question.
Janice Wingfield. Janice has a good super chat. You got to read it.
I will get there. We're going to shut down the like and subscribe poll now, but 14% of you said, nope, you'll lose subs. I didn't lose subs. I gained like 18. No, but you'll get to 80,500. 23% of you said that, which I did. I'm currently sitting at 80,511. So
excellent.
That was right. 21% of you said no, but you'll get a bunch. That is also correct. And 41% of you said, yes, we will make it happen. You're wrong. We didn't get to 81,000. We're 489 short. So the 489 of you over on Megan's channel that are not subscribed to me, just pop on over there. And again, I emphasize my peeps that have not subscribed to Megan. What's your problem? Get over there to Megan Fox. Get over to her channel and make sure you subscribe to her.
Yeah, we're having fun over there. Those of you in the chat asking how many more hearings do we have to go? That was the last one. It was one hearing in 7 parts. One day that he kept them there for 8 hours. For
10 hours from 9 a.m. It was from 9. It was from 9. No, it was from 10 a.m. wasn't it?
And they had like a 3-hour break.
Yeah. So, well, during that break, he had to write the motion we read yesterday.
Right. So he didn't get a break. So this thing went on for one entire day, and it was in 7 parts. And now we are going to be reading the motions in the case. So trust me, we still have more time. We are not done. We are not done with this case.
Thursday and Friday, we will be reading the motions. And one of the motions happens to be 900 plus pages long, but it's mostly transcript. So we can read there's like 5 or 6 motions, I think, to read. If we run out of time, we can do a dramatic reading of depositions.
Oh, that would be fun. We haven't done dramatic readings in a while.
It's been a minute, but this again, as we said in part 1, this is the same judge handling the Jeremy Hales case, and Jeremy Hales' lawyer is Randall Shockett, who is here with the Gosney family, and they're going on simultaneously. So while Randall Shockett has filed these motions to recuse and to prohibit Judge Grudge from handling the Jeremy Hales case, while that is pending, he is issuing rulings in this case. And so in what world is that fair, that he has a lawyer that's trying to get him booted off a case, and he's showing his bias by doing, like we talked about several times, the reflection from the court lights reflects off of the sunglasses of Mr. Grudge. Are you recording this? Because you're always recording shit. You have all your clients that record everything, even though I don't like it. He's clearly demonstrated his bias.
And that he might have some sort of mental disorder, because that never happened. Jeremy never recorded anything. It was recorded by the court's own camera system.
Exactly.
And the idea that like, everyone's recording me. The guy is paranoid now. He's got like legit paranoia.
And just a bit of a foreshadowing, foreplay, a little bit of a preview of what's coming up on Thursday and Friday. Yesterday we read the first motion to disqualify, which Randall Shockett and probably Doreen helped as well, wrote this motion in the middle of the proceedings. In the middle of this hearing, they had to write a motion to disqualify Judge Thomas. And spoiler alert, he denies that motion to I think he upheld the order. I don't know. Well, we'll have to find out. I don't know how he ruled on this.
I do. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
He denied it. He dissolved it.
Oh, he dissolved it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He dissolves it. And the criminal case that was going on, Griffith is found guilty and is sentenced to jail.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. And but the restraining order, protective order, was dissolved against this guy who was found then guilty in criminal court of these things.
Can we just mark off the judge contradicts himself? No, it wasn't the judge contradicting himself. It was sort of the law contradicting the judge. So, okay, you don't need a protective order, but we're going to lock the guy up.
But we're going to lock him up in prison.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think he served a year.
Jeez. So, wow. Dang. But what we're going to be focusing on Thursday and Friday is more of the effort from Randall Shockett to get the judge disqualified from this case in particular. So we'll be looking at the second motion to disqualify, the writ of prohibition, because clearly he denies the second motion to disqualify himself. So they have to take it to the higher authority and file the writ of prohibition and a order to show cause. And there's other documents. We're going to be looking at these for Thursday and Friday. So you're going to want to you're going to want to be here and hang out with us for the next 2 days at least. Because we're not over.
No,
we're not over. This is not done. The effery continues.
This is not done. I'll have a different bingo for tomorrow. We'll because we're going to do. Huh? Yeah, I'll remake it because we'll have we'll be reading motions, so I'll have to redo it since we're not going to be watching court stream.
True. This is so frustrating. And again, like I said, I don't care about the actual drama between the two families is funny to me because I'm not involved.
Yeah, but it's
not
like
funny Homer
to the people doing
it's
it.
Funny because I don't know them. But it's real to them. And I am a firm believer in it takes two people to argue. So I'm not saying either side has completely clean hands, but I'm concerned about this judge who continues to behave like this on the stand. These are only 2 cases.
He's unreal. The guy's unbelievable. And I think we're going to find out. I think the more we talk about this, the more people will come forward with their, interactions with this guy. He has to be doing this to more people than just Randy and Doreen.
Of course. And you were saying that Florida only records.
Oh, yeah.
What was that you were saying?
So I find out that the court recordings are only done in injunction cases.
That's odd.
In Levy County, they do not record or, put on the record that way. They have like a court reporter instead. They don't have filming of criminal cases in Levy County. So I was going to try and look up some of his cases, but the only ones that I can get footage for are all injunctions.
That's
weird.
That's different. Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like
I wonder if they have just like audio recordings from the other proceedings.
Maybe. God, can you imagine how much worse it would be just to listen to audio of him?
Well, that's where we need like Jeremy Hales to do like stick puppets.
Stick puppets.
Or like random toy, figures.
Yes.
I frankly don't have the time or
So
desire to
obviously stay tuned because they are going to be in court today. I'm at 1 p.m. is their court time. I'm guessing that I will hear something from them at when it's over, and I'm sure Jeremy will make a video.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be making a video.
I'm sure he'll be making a video, and I'm sure we'll all be talking about it. I may be going live on my channel with Tug tonight. He wasn't available last night for Tuesday with Tug. So we do want to talk about Jeremy announcing that he is filing more lawsuits. That's right, more lawsuits. It's gotten really ugly out there. There's some serious YouTube drama, and we'll be talking about that if I can get Tug to have some time for me this evening.
And if anybody actually has had a case involving Judge DeThomasis, reach out to Megan or I by email. Emails are in both of our descriptions for our videos, and it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts.
And you can stay anonymous too. I mean, if you want to just email me your story about Judge DeThomasis, you don't want your name used, I'm happy to use a pseudonym. I'm happy to keep your identity a secret because I know this guy retaliates. There's no joke about it. He retaliates.
You think?
Which is why he's earned the name the Grudge Judge.
Yeah, and God bless Randall Shockett for the patience he showed over this 9.5 hour process. I mean, my God.
I can't believe he didn't lose it. He did sort of lose it a couple times. I mean, he almost did Muppet voice, for crying out loud. We need Muppet voice for Randy on the next bingo card.
And again, that may have pleased the court. Was the most disingenuous thing I've heard. That was great.
It was almost like Doreen's writing in the motion to recuse from the new case that Lynette brought against Jeremy and Larry, where number 1 was, we asked the court to keep an open mind. We reminding you that you don't have an open mind, that you never have an open mind when it comes to these litigants, and you need to keep an objective mind. It's just funny.
Oh, Bernice went through hell a year ago. At this time last summer, I just came home from the hotel and fell with flip-flops on and into the stepping stool. I cut my leg. The flip-flop folded to the top and I tripped. Oh my God. That reminded me of, I had a similar incident where I was walking upstairs. They were marble stairs that had like the metal strips, the metal non-strip slips on the edge. And my flip-flop caught on the top of the on the lip of the stair, and there was a little tiny like brad of brass that was sticking up from the metal strip, and my big toe caught that. My flip-flop caught, and my big toe just raked across that brad and just laced the bottom of my big toe open, and there was blood everywhere. I feel your pain, Bernice. I feel your pain.
That's awful.
So, all right, Meg. What's the takeaway from this hearing? What's your big takeaway?
That Judge DeThomasis is the worst judge in America that I know of currently serving on the bench. He should be removed immediately. He's not only biased against lawyers in his court and biased against litigants who are working with lawyers he doesn't like, but he also is wrong on the law, and he obviously, because this guy in front of him that he just dissolved this restraining order, he ends up going to jail. So another judge didn't agree with him, and lots of judges don't agree with him. The appellate court's already kicked him off of a case. The appellate court said he was doing illegal things. And I don't really think we should wait for Judge Thomas's to do one more illegal thing. I think he should just lose his robe. That's what I think.
I can't disagree with that. It's just pettiness. It's pettiness, and if pedanticism isn't a word, it should be. He's just being pedantic through this whole thing.
Yeah.
It is, again, bullshit if he handles a hearing in 15 minutes. Just no.
I know. That's why I wanted like an entire day of his courtroom footage, because I wanted to see where are these cases that he says he solves 5 to 6 cases in an hour. I'm like, prove it. Prove it. Prove it. I want to see it because I don't believe it.
It's just defrock Judge Thomas.
Defrock. I
don't want to see him disrobed. That would be weird.
You are not a nice person.
Yeah, well.
You are not a nice person.
This will get awkward.
Oh, God.
Well, I think that's all we have.
That's it for today.
Anything else, Megan? Is that it?
No. Did you get all your super chats?
I think we did. Let me double check, shall we?
I think you missed Janice's, didn't you? And Jill's. Yeah, we didn't read Jill's.
Ninja Puppy's a new member for Megan.
Oh, welcome to the Fox Den. It's weird in here, but you'll get used to it.
And also for Megan.
Jill Ems, thanks for the 2. Love you, Megan. Love you too, Jill.
And for me, Janice Wingfield. Jeff, you sounded like our grandson when our daughter would pull up to Sprouts and he'd say, "Not the green store, it's weird." It's weird.
It's weird.
But I remember like when I was a little kid, like 4 or 5 years old, we'd go to Walgreens and I'm like, "It's not green." I remember distinctly saying, "Why is it called Walgreens? It's not green." Jill M's more for May. Oh, we already read that one. You can read it again. Jill
Love
M
you
loves
too, Jill.
And Jill M says, "Love you, Jeff." Thank you, Jill. Appreciate that. And that is it. We are caught up.
All right. So
is
until
nice and awesome.
tomorrow.
Yeah, same bat time, same bat channel.
That's right.
We'll get on with the motion reading. We'll begin with the second motion to disqualify.
Sounds good.
So dumb. This is so bad. I mean, it would be comical if it wasn't real and impacting real people's lives.
I know. It's bad.
It's still comical, but again,
it is also still comical.
Because it's not me. And both sides, really, I mean, seriously, both sides in this, they don't deserve this. Right, Strawberry. Where's the strawberry cam? Oh, never mind. We have to get our upset dog cam. Where's our upset dog cam? There we go.
What is she barking at?
It's like you haven't paid attention to me since you got home from work. Pay attention to me now. We're gonna sign off, Straubs, and then I promise I'll give you all sorts of head rubs, and you just don't cut my head open again like you did 2 days ago. All right.
Like, well, maybe.
Any closing arguments, Megan?
I have no closing arguments. I'll see you tomorrow, Jeff.
Me too, and we will see all of you. Megan will be hosting tomorrow.
Yes.
So
and hopefully with less problems.
Oh yeah, and so again, I apologize. Megan's probably going to disavow the entire stream, but for me, I will go back and edit out the first 35 minutes, which means we're going to lose all of the chat.
I'm not editing it. I'm just leaving it. It's funny.
Yes,
it's
funny because it wasn't you, right?
Well, I mean, it wasn't fun, but in looking back, it's just it's shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens. All right, people, and a new bingo card tomorrow.
Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Yeah, new bingo card. I'm gonna work on it right now.
All right, I'm gonna send you on over to where are we gonna send? I'm gonna send you. I can't remember where I said I was gonna send people. I already have it set up. Recovery Addict. We're gonna send you on over to Recovery Addict. Say hi to Recovery Addict and tell him to follow me on Twitter, the dumbass, so I can send him DMs.
I'll tell him if he follows me. I'll tell him.
All right, people. I got exactly 501 likes. Thank you so much. Everybody, you guys are great. One more time, subscribe to Megan Fox. Like Megan Fox's stream. And vice versa. You guys over there, subscribe to me.
Yes,
And,
definitely.
With that, I guess we'll just say peace out.
Later.
See you on over at Recovery Addict for a minute. Bye, folks. And remember, if you happen to live next to this guy,
That's right. Shop smart. Shop S-Mart. You got that?
bye.